Dating a Filipina. Expectations from her family. When you start dating a Filipina, and even more so once you marry a Filipina, what are the expectations placed on you as a foreigner who may be seen as being rich? After being with my Filipina for almost 7 years, and I'll tell you what your Filipina's family may expect from you. Looking to date a Filipina, or already dating or married to a Filipina? I use my experiences around my relationship with my Filipina wife of 6 years, as well as my professional experience as a qualified relationship counsellor for over the past 10 years. Are you after resources, tips and information for a successful relationship with your Filipina and to maintain it well into the future? No problems, just take a moment to subscribe and press the bell icon to get all our future videos, and I promise you'll never miss out again. The fact here is that every Filipina and every family is different, and so there is no right answer, and really everyone's experience may be different. But I guess me having a Philippines YouTube channel allows me the opportunity to chat with many people and learn of their experiences around what expectations they felt were placed on them by their new girlfriends or wife's family. Firstly, you have to remember that most guys will date or marry a Filipina who may come from a family that is either poor or maybe middle class. Now, middle class in the Philippines may not be the same as middle class where you come from. Middle class, whilst they may not go hungry, paying bills and trying to save to get ahead in the Philippines may be a struggle. Now, all of a sudden, their daughter or sister is dating a foreigner from the USA, Canada, Great Britain or Australia, and these are countries many Filipinos may idolise and wish they could live there. They see it on TV and they think what a life it would be, and all these people living in nice comfortable houses with big refrigerators, comfortable beds, washing machines, and they have the illusion which we are all very rich. And I guess by their standards maybe we are, but either way you can see how they could make that assumption. For many Filipino families, they may think that this is their opportunity to live a better life because Filipino families generally are very tight with each other, and if one does well then they're all going to do well, so to speak. So in the initial stages at least, there may be expectations from the family towards you and their daughter. Now, what these expectations are can vary greatly, but usually the parents will expect once the daughter marries the foreigner, then she will send a certain amount of money home each month. This expectation will weigh even more upon the Filipina's mind because she will feel great pressure not to disappoint her family, whom she loves very much. So initially in the dating stage you may not be really aware of any expectations unless you have already learned about Filipino culture beforehand. Then when you marry, it won't come as much of a shock when certain requests for help or money come rolling in. You may notice that your Filipina may become a little distant, and clearly you can see she has many worries. She's likely not to tell you because she may feel embarrassed her family members are asking for money or help with certain things. Even if you've already discussed and agreed upon your Filipina wife to send a certain amount of money home to her parents each month, you may now find that some family members are asking for assistance with university fees, to start a small business, or to get a motorbike fixed, and even to buy land and put a house on it. Some parents may even become upset at the Filipina if they feel she may not be sending enough money home or giving enough to help her other family members out. This can indeed cause great stress to your Filipina and make her very unhappy. Some of her family members can be very good at playing the emotional blackmail card to your Filipina to make her feel very bad so they get what they want. And this can cause cracks in your relationship very early on in the marriage. So how do you stop this from turning into a disaster and keeping your Filipina reasonably stress-free from family issues? Well, one can never completely stop her worrying about family in the Philippines or stopping her family from being demanding. As I say, this is not in all families, but you will find it in some families. Some may expect nothing, but from speaking to many men, I feel most do have expectations placed on them, and the Filipino family certainly aren't shy in calling those in on their daughter, sister or relative. There have been times when I've seen my Filipino wife very distressed soon after we married because of one or two family members saying she has changed because she said we couldn't assist her with the request. From the day my wife came to Australia, even before we married, I agreed we could send some money to her sister who was looking after my wife's daughter in the Philippines to cover expenses for my wife's daughter. We did that for 2.5 years while we were waiting to bring the daughter to Australia. We also sent 3,000 pesos a month to my wife's elderly father. Once my wife started work here in Australia, we helped the niece with an airfare to Canada to work, and now I believe she's a permanent resident there and doing quite well for herself, which is really nice to see. And we've helped a few other relatives out with some smaller requests. But in more recent times we chose to purchase a small block of land and build a Filipino-style hollow block house on it where some family members reside, including my father-in-law. All these things we have chosen to do, but as I say, there were many requests in the early stages that we had to say no to, and my wife would be told by some relatives how she's changed since coming to Australia, which really did hurt my wife. In the end, I told my wife to tell her relatives that I now handle all the money and she has no access to it, so they need to contact me directly for any requests for help or money whatsoever. And you know what, after we did that, I never got any requests at all. It was like magic and the requests just stopped. So my best advice, if you're dating or married to a Filipina, as soon as you see your Filipina struggling with this issue in any way, then try the same thing as I did and see if that works for you. Filipino people can be very shy with a foreigner, and if it worked for me, then it very possibly will also work for you. And if you've found another way it works for you, then be sure to leave your comments below. For more information and tips around dating or married to a Filipina, be sure to check out the card on screen now. Feel free to like and share the video, subscribe and press the bell icon for future videos. Thanks for watching. I appreciate all your support. Take care and bye for now.